Republicans on the city council, but you'll discover...
Careful.
Careful. But you'll discover there's usually a couple running for mayor at any given time, so it has its own challenges. But having said that, we have worked to effectively launch new programs, both in managing the city, right? We went through a deep recession, but we never cut human services. We never cut anything affecting youth development. And we finished every year in the black and are rebuilding the rainy day fund. And when we had more dollars, we expanded the Seattle Youth Violence Prevention Initiative. My willingness to go out in the community, I've done 150 town halls, meant that when the black pastors challenged me to say, what are you going to do about the black men who've been jailed? We have systems for arresting, prosecuting, incarcerating, but we don't have systems for returning people to the community. What will you do, Mayor? I responded and said, let us partner on this. And we've launched Career Bridge, which is helping people with education, jobs, housing, and peer support when they return to the community. So my style has been to raise the tough issues and not worry if it gets a little contentious, because the opposite of that, if you don't raise it, the opposite is neglect. It's neglect. 50th in the nation mental health beds, 43rd per capita spending per student, right? Gun control laws that don't change. A little outrage is a good thing, folks. That's why you're here. Thank you.
And now we're going to have a closing, 2 minutes each. Senator Murray will go first, and I would like to emphasize that you guys were doing great until just a minute ago on being positive. So please be positive.
So, it's good, Jane. So, I was once council staff, and as Jane Nolan can tell you, the smartest people in City Hall are always council staff, right?
That's true. Absolutely.
So, as mayor, I will take responsibility and not point to other jurisdictions. That's the first and most important thing. I won't point to the legislature. I won't point to the federal government. I'll take responsibility. If there's violence in this city, I'll take responsibility. If the roads aren't working, I'll take responsibility. I am happy that I have received the type of endorsements I've received because they speak to the type of mayor that I believe I would be. I received endorsements from 19 labor unions, including the 2 largest SEIU service unions. I received the endorsement of the Chamber and of small businesses like Molly Moon's Ice Cream, in a particular Italian restaurant in Columbia City. I've also received the endorsement of Ron Sims and Christine Gregoire. I received the endorsement of the police and firefighters. I've received the endorsement of the Washington conservation voters who are taking the lead on coal trains and ending them or not letting them happen because of my work on the environment. I received the sole endorsement of Planned Parenthood because of my years of work on women's health issues in the legislature. That's a very, very diverse coalition of endorsements. So I read them off not just to sort of like tell you about my campaign, but tell you about my ability to bring people together. And it is only by bringing people together and asking tough questions. And if you don't think bringing up the issue of marriage was tough 18 years ago, then you live in a different planet. But asking the tough questions, but then coming together on a strategy like 594 and actually accomplishing something. I hope you'll consider me as your next mayor of Seattle. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
So it's been an extraordinary honor and privilege to serve with the people of the city for the last 4 years. And I say serve with, I mentioned 150 town halls. This is a city that wants to be a leader on issues. And I respect that demand for leadership. And being in this place too, where I've been challenged again by the black community here in Seattle. To go out and meet with the kids from the Seattle Youth Violence Prevention Initiative. They held a great forum, by the way. And to be challenged by them, what are you going to do for us? I went out to Monroe Correctional Facility, met with the Black Prisoners Caucus. And the point I would say to you is we have raised the tough issues and we have not been scared to tackle them, whether it's doubling the Families and Education Levy, expanding the Seattle Youth Violence Prevention Initiative, looking at issues like paid sick leave, tripling the amount of minority contracting we do in the city, doing the gun buybacks, doing the gun-free zones, even if it means people are going to criticize it. And we've been effective at changing the debate. I mean, one of the things that I find fascinating here is that Senator Murray is basically agreeing with most of my positions. We changed the debate. We've changed the debate in this city that we will be a very progressive city, and there's no dispute over that. And I think if you look at our record for 4 years, we have never shied away from taking responsibility and addressing the issues. And so when the businesses criticize us about the state of downtown, they're invited in, and we sit down with everybody else, and we start figuring out what are the solutions we can implement here. And the reality is, we've been making progress here. We've been making progress here on a variety of issues. Our economy is strong. You know, we are pushing crime down, although we have challenges in every neighborhood to make it lower. We've doubled our investment in education, and for the first time, we're investing more in human services here in the city of Seattle than the state and feds are investing through us. They've cut, we've added. So you've spent 4 years, I've spent 4 years learning how to work with you to get things done, and I'm now a believer in stability and continuity in the mayor's office, and I'd love your support for 4 more years so we can build on the foundation we've laid here. Thank you.
We all want to thank both of you very much. And I think the city of Seattle is so very fortunate to have 2 candidates of this quality and 2 candidates, either one of whom will make gun safety a priority. We wish you both luck. And Margie Heldring wants to say something else. But thank you all for coming. This has been very illuminating.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Manager. Thank you, Senator Knight. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to Jane for a beautiful job moderating. The issue of signature gathering